Holy cow. Man, San Diego Comic-Con, Marvel has literally blown the roof off the building with all these amazing Marvel movie announcements. Let's just talk about it because Phase 4 is about to be the best, probably one of the best phases in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Let's talk about it. So at San Diego Comic-Con, Kevin Feige comes out on stage in the magnificent Hall H and gives an announcement of all of the movies and TV series that would be appearing on the new Disney Plus streaming service. And the entire Marvel fan base erupted in excitement for all the movies that are slated to come out within, I think, 20 and 21. It's going to be Phase 4 is going to be pretty freaking awesome, guys. As I guys see in the background here on my computer, the first movie that they announced was Black Widow, and I know a lot of us are probably wondering, about Natasha Romanoff's background. Scarlett Johansson also wanted to explore that, and we're going to get that as one of the first movies in the Phase 4 Marvel Cinematic Universe. Scarlett Johansson came out on stage along with other cast members, and apparently we're getting Taskmaster as the villain for that movie, which makes perfect sense. Hopefully we might see Taskmaster later on down in the MCU. I really do believe he might play another intricate role within the villains universe of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So hopefully he may possibly be a leader or something may set up later on down the line for that. But Scarlett Johansson came out on stage. We had Kevin Feige giving on the announcement. Everyone is all hyped up, and it was awesome. On to the next thing. They wanted to talk about the Disney streaming services, which I will personally be getting myself. The next show is called The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and basically it picks up right off at the end of Avengers Endgame, and we basically go on journeys with both Sam and Bucky to figure out how they're going to cope and what they're going to do now that Cap is gone. Now that Sam has the shield, he's the new Cap, or is he the new Cap, or will the shield go over to Bucky? It's kind of strange because there was a certain thing at San Diego Comic-Con. If I can find a video or a link or something, Anthony Mackie actually passed his shield over to Sebastian Stan for a brief second. He said, "Hey man, why don't you hold the shield for a little bit?" So maybe we might get two different versions of Captain America in this show. Now I heard that Baron Zemo will be returning for the series, so hopefully we may see Baron Zemo in this. I guess you can say it's the cinematic universe, but Disney streaming service universe of the MCU. So hopefully we see Baron Zemo and other characters return within the Captain America realm. Hopefully we'll get to see more villains as that appear. Another movie that is coming out, and probably one that I'm very most excited about, is The Eternals. And a lot of us are wondering what the Eternals are, who they are. Well, technically they were created by the Celestials to guard and protect Earth over 35,000 years. So they've been around for a long time. And they've basically been protecting humanity and just trying to make sure that, they're kind of like keepers of the peace, but they also have some problems of their own. The audiences were pretty stoked about it because some people don't really know who the Eternals are. The Eternals are kind of like the back burner of the MCU or comic book realm. A lot of people know about them but don't know in depth about them. So it's kind of like how Guardians of the Galaxy was when it first came out. Everyone's like, well, who are the Guardians of the Galaxy? And then they started reading comics, they started knowing about them, getting to know the characters. So that's what's going to happen pretty much with the Eternals once Marvel pushes this movie out. So a lot of people will start digging into comics and reading up more on the Eternals to get to understand where they are. Now the crowd erupted when Angelina Jolie came on stage because she is pretty much the most well-known actress that was on the stage and a part of the cast. So a lot of people were extremely happy to see her play her part, which is Thena in the Eternal. So I can't wait to see how Angelina Jolie portrays this character. I think it's going to be absolutely great. And Marvel definitely knows what they're doing when it comes to making these movies. Now, one thing that I'm definitely excited about is the Shang-Chi movie. Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. This is going to be somewhat of a continuation, but also I guess an origin story to Shang-Chi himself, who is a master martial artist in the MCU and in the comics. But his father, a lot of people don't know this, is secretly the Mandarin, the real Mandarin that we did not get to see in the MCU in Iron Man's universe. So here's the deal. Will we get a chance to see flashbacks with Iron Man, with Tony? Will Robert Downey Jr. may possibly reprise his role for certain little small cameos in MCU? There's no telling, but I do believe that this is going to create a chain link between Iron Man and Shang-Chi, and with the Mandarin and the Legends, and hopefully we'll get to see those actual magical 10 rings in full effect that we wanted to see. Now, a lot of people are saying, remember in the first Iron Man movie, the guy that actually wore the rings on his finger, a lot of people are saying that those rings may possibly be those actual rings of the Mandarin, or they could just be like some type of jewelry just to signify that they follow the Mandarin and it's just an imitation of those rings. Who knows? But I really do believe that this movie is going to be a connection to Iron Man some way, in shape or form, but it's also going to be its own standalone thing that kickstarts this whole new character that a lot of people don't really know about. So I'm definitely excited to see that. Another Disney Streaming Plus show is called Wanda Vision, and Elizabeth Olsen and Paul Bettany are back as Wanda and Vision, Scarlet Witch and Vision, and apparently this is supposed to be taking place somewhere in the past, like in the 50s or something like that, or 40s. Wanda has her power level is extremely powerful. She would be kind of like in the comics what they would call an Omega level mutant. She is extremely powerful. So I'm thinking maybe she would find a way to warp reality or something and push themselves back into time where her and Vision can live in the past and have kids and all the other type of stuff. So it'll be pretty fun to see how that leads into the MCU. Like, will this be their exiting of the MCU into another multiverse or another realm, or is this still going to be a continuation? And I honestly think it's going to be a continuation, simply because Marvel has released more information on the Doctor Strange 2 movie, and it's called Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. And it's not just featuring Doctor Strange, but it's featuring Doctor Strange and Scarlet Witch. So I'm sure there will be some connections within the WandaVision Disney streaming service series and the Doctor Strange 2 movie, where somewhere Wanda or Doctor Strange tries to go and find Wanda, because Wanda is probably going to go back in the past. Doctor Strange is in this multiverse. He's probably going to find Wanda in another universe or something like that, brings him back. Things is going out of chaos. I'm sure Nightmare is going to be a part of it. So it's going to be pretty freaking crazy. Can you imagine that, guys? You got both Scarlet Witch and Doctor Strange. We're also getting Doctor Strange's love interest as well, Clea, who's going to be in the MCU. So there's a lot of things. And Dormammu is pretty much released as well, because I mean, hey, Doctor Strange doesn't have the Time Stone anymore, so the Eye of Agamotto doesn't have that power. So it's a lot of crazy things that are going to happen now in the multiverse. And the fact that they mention a multiverse, that means that many different things are possible. Now, the possibilities are endless. There's so many different characters and different things that can happen now in this movie. And I really think it's going to set up a lot of other phases in the MCU. So definitely stay tuned and be ready for that movie, because that movie is going to probably have so many Easter eggs in it that it's going to blow our minds. Like, we thought Guardians of the Galaxy had a lot of Easter eggs, and we thought that the first Avengers movie had a lot of Easter eggs, and all these other movies had Easter eggs. This movie is probably going to have the top tier of Easter eggs, and I'm sure Kevin Feige and everyone at Marvel is going to make sure that they just cram a lot of things in here so we can really pay attention, not only to the movie and the dialogue, but also to the things that are going on in the background, certain things that might appear in certain scenes. it's going to be pretty amazing. So definitely get ready for that. Another one is the Disney streaming service show called Loki, and a lot of people are really ready to see what happens with Loki because in Avengers Endgame we saw how Tony and Cap and them went back in the past. They messed up one of their missions, and Loki got the Tesseract and escaped. A lot of the questions are, where is Loki? What is he doing with the Tesseract? What type of realities and stuff he's popping up in? Like, it's just so many different things, so many different directions that they can go with Loki, especially since he's a fan favorite. I'm sure a lot of people are going to watch this series. It's going to do very well, and I'm sure it's going to connect later on in the MCU. Also, this will be probably connecting to the Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness because there's so many different realities and stuff that's going on. Doctor Strange and Scarlet Witch may have to come together to find some way to balance all of these things out. So it might be to a point where they just merge all the multiverses together. I have no idea. That was my laptop. But anyway, I really do think it's going to be absolutely great. Another streaming service that they're doing is called Marvel Studios What If, and it's pretty much self-explanatory. It's exactly what it is. What if? What if such and such happens in MCU? Like, for instance, what would happen if Iron Man was evil? What would have happened if Hulk never joined the Avengers? What would have happened if Captain America would have died instead of Tony? What would have happened if Wanda and Quicksilver did not join the Avengers? You know, what would have happened if Thanos was actually a good guy instead of a bad guy and there was another alternate villain? There's certain different things that could go in this thing. So as you can tell, as you can see, Marvel is setting us up for these multiverse scenarios where we might just get like a crazy like Secret Wars or something dealing with I mean, look, the possibilities are endless. Okay, I can go on and on with this, but I'm totally excited for it. Hawkeye, Jeremy Renner came out, and he had probably the best interest out of everyone. He came out in the crowd and he was dancing and jamming. Everything was pretty fun. He got up on stage and talked about the show, and I just really think that they're going to give Hawkeye the recognition that he deserves, because a lot of people know, you know, in the movies, Jeremy Renner did great. He portrays the character of Hawkeye and Ronan beautifully. It's just Marvel just didn't really know how to really put him on the screen and give him the right dialogue and the right scenes. He definitely made up for it in Infinity War and Endgame, but I really do believe that we're really going to get a good storyline and feel the emotion and everything that's going on with Clint. So I think we're really going to get a good show with this when it comes to Hawkeye. Next is one of my favorites as well. The rumors were there. A lot of people didn't realize it, but yes, Chris Hemsworth will reprise his role as Thor for Thor 4, and it's called Thor: Love and Thunder. And Tessa Thompson comes out on stage along with Chris Hemsworth and Taika Waititi, and they're talking about what Thor is possibly going to go through, what type of storyline that Thor may follow under through. And Taika Waititi mentions that he is very involved in a story that he really loves, and it's called The Mighty Thor, and it involves basically female Thor. So Marvel is going in the directions of the comics. They're using the comics as a reference. So, you know, Captain America is, you know, he's gone. His shield is now going over to Sam Wilson, the Falcon. We also getting the female version of Thor. We might get the different version of Iron Man. Hopefully, Ironheart Remy will become, you know, the new Iron Man. I'm thinking that's the route that they're going, guys. So there's a lot of interesting things that are going on right now in the MCU for Phase 4, 5, and possibly Phase 6 when we see it, when all this stuff comes into fruition. But I really do believe that Marvel is going to do a great job with Thor: Love and Thunder. Tessa Thompson is extremely happy about it. She was excited on stage. Chris Hemsworth, he wouldn't give too much detail, but he knows it's going to be pretty good. Taika Waititi kind of, I guess, spoiled a little bit of bromance between Korg and Thor. So I'm pretty sure they're going to have some fun with that as well. Also, Natalie Portman comes out on stage. And when Natalie Portman comes out on stage, everyone is like, super freaking happy. There's some people in the crowd that's like, oh God, okay, not this girl again. But at the same time, it's like a lot of people are really happy to see female Thor. And Natalie Portman looks like she's extremely excited. She's very skinny and thin right now, so I guess when they actually start shooting, Natalie Portman's probably going to bulk up for this role. She's going to have to really put in the work, and I'm sure she's probably going to work with Chris Hemsworth, because you do know he actually has an app now, a fitness app, and he's pretty much like a coach himself. So he's probably going to get her into shape and to build muscle and to be a pretty good and fit female Thor. So Natalie Portman is really going to have to put in the work to bulk up and be a pretty good female Thor, and I think she's going to do a great job at it. Last but not least, right after Comic-Con was over, Kevin Feige decided to he just threw in a pipe bomb, and he said, hey, I guess we don't have enough time to talk about the Fantastic Four. Like, they want to talk about the Fantastic Four, but they can't just yet because they're slated for Phase 5. And then he was like, oh, I guess we don't have enough time to talk about mutants. Like, it's there, like X-Men, Fantastic Four. There's so much stuff that Kevin Feige wants to tell us, but he doesn't want to spoil everything. And then the most coolest thing happens at the very end of the segment. He says, I also would like to bring out two-time Academy Award winner Mahershala Ali. No one had no idea at all who or why Mahershala Ali was there. Everyone had their Black Widow hats on that Scarlett Johansson was giving out to the crowd and Marvel was giving out to the crowd. And then Kevin Feige looks over to Mahershala Ali and says, hey, I see you brought a hat of your own. What's that? What's on your hat? Mahershala Ali puts on his hat, and across his hat says Blade. What the hell? Are you serious? Blade. Guys, we're getting Blade in the MCU. Like, I'm sure the whole entire Marvel fan base just freaking erupted with excitement. That's like when T'Challa was, I'm saying T'Challa, well, you might as well say he is T'Challa because he embodies the role of T'Challa. But that's like when Chadwick Boseman came out on stage and he was announced to be T'Challa for Black Panther. The black community just exploded. So imagine how it's going to be now that, like, I'm sure the African American community was just like, oh my God, we're getting another Blade, another African American character in the MCU. This is big, major news. Like, Marvel is really trying to get the diversity going in the MCU, and it's great. It is awesome. I mean, we got Asian actors and African Americans and white people. We got some Indian people that may be coming in with the Doctor Strange. Like, it's so many cool things, guys, that are going on in the MCU. I'm just very proud of Marvel. I'm proud to be a Marvel fan. DC, you need to get your shit together. Because, see, this is what a crowning jewel looks like. Marvel knows strategy. They know the game plan. DC, you really need to, if you're watching this video, DC Comics, DC Studios, whatever, Warner Brothers, y'all guys need to get y'all shit together. Because Marvel is on their A game and there's no catching up to them now. No catching up. Doesn't matter if you reboot your whole entire DCEU, whatever you do, there's no catching up to them. Y'all guys have just screwed up y'all guys' formula. Everyone there at DC needs to be fired and bring in new people. Just saying. Just saying. But this, guys, this has been another episode of the Heroes Vote. Thank you for watching. If this is your first time on the channel, make sure you smash that subscribe button, hit that notifications bell. That way you know when I upload videos about these topics, about Marvel, DC, a little bit of everything, Power Rangers, anime, I talk about it all. So make sure y'all guys hit that notifications bell and subscribe to the channel for more content just like this. Also, I will be starting a new channel called NGN. A lot of you are wondering, what does NGN stand for? And it stands for Nerd Guy News, where your host, Nerd Logic, myself, will be talking about many other Marvel exclusive Marvel things on that channel, and DC things, and Walking Dead things, and anime things, and a lot more other stuff as well. So it won't just be here on my primary channel on Motor6Sandy, it'll be on that channel. So get ready, guys. That channel will be up and running soon. I will create a Patreon so you guys can help me out with that channel. I want to be able to do CGI storytelling and theories for different topics that I talk about. So once I have the Patreon up and running, if you guys want to donate to help out to the channel, that would be great. I will also do giveaways once I reach a certain amount of subscribers. So once I reach a certain amount of subscribers, y'all guys will be seeing giveaways that will be happening and chances to win and enterprises and stuff like that as well. So thank you guys for being a part of Most Exciting community, the official 803 TV community, and now the official NGN Nerd Guy News. So thank you guys. I'm your host Brandon, and this has been another episode of The Hero's Vault. Man, that was a mouthful. This is, God, it's wonderful to be a Marvel fan right now. Absolutely wonderful. Oh man, Comic-Con.